Hello, this is the Provoked Prawn, and this is the Corsair RGB Fan lighting goodness. This is an unboxing video, and this is what the end result is once you've installed it on your computer. These are 6 RGB fans that come in 2 packs of 3, and LED lighting strips, including the Commander Pro system. The Commander Pro system hooks up all together to ensure you can have lighting settings across the different fans and customized to your liking. This is a basic setup as it defaults. Now this is an unboxing video to show you what's in the boxes and a rough idea of how it all works. I've installed this setup on a Corsair H150i CPU cooling system and inside a Corsair Obsidian 500D mid-tower case. This video is to show you what is in the box. Now if you're looking at these sort of fans, you'll realise this is not a cheap option necessarily, but it is a nice upgrade to your gaming PC, especially if you've got a case like the Corsair Obsidian 500D, which has glass panels on either side. That allows you to get the full glory of the RGB lighting. Now the Commander Pro is the unit that is used to connect these up, but you don't necessarily need it. You can buy the RGB fans as they stand, and they come with the connections, which I'll show you in a minute. The Commander Pro works as a control box that you can use to plug all your fans and LED strips into. It also has a temperature sensor connection for various cables there that you can connect to your system that allows you to monitor temperatures of various parts within your system if you want to do that. The Commander Pro is actually a really nice bit of kit, and you need to find somewhere in your case to fit this, which will vary from case to case. There's no point in me giving you guidance on that, but you can see it's a reasonable sized box, so it's quite a substantial box to get in. And if you've got 6 fans and the LED strips going into it, that's quite a lot of wires, but it does result in a sort of centralized hub, which is a nice way to set it all up. Also, once you've done that, you can download the Corsair Link software, which then allows you to customize the lighting with various different settings, which I'm not going to go into in this video because it's quite in depth anyway, and diving into that. The box itself comes with a number of wires that include fan extension cables, which means that you get more options in where you're going to position the fans and lighting in your box. There's the temperature sensors there that you can see. Those plug in and you can attach to various things within the case. Also in the box is the warranty guide and a basic instruction manual which tells you how to set it up. I did find that the instructions in the Corsair, both on this and the fans, weren't that comprehensive, but with a bit of fiddling you can work it out. Now one of the key things to note here is if you're buying this system, it's worthwhile marking up the fan cables with labels so that you know where they're going when you put them in your system, because what I found when you're installing 6 fans inside a case, it's pretty important to number those, especially if you're going to want the lighting to go in a sequence, which is what the end result is going to be. You want the sequence of lights so they go in order. So I'd started from the bottom of the heatsink and gone up through that as 1, 2, 3, and then onto the other ones which go across the top and around the back. But obviously depending on where you're going to set your fans up might be different. I've also set up the RGB fans to face inwards because the case itself is black fronted, so you can't see. So you have to make some considerations about what you're going to do. These fans are a decent size and they fit on the heatsink radiator quite easily. You can fit 3 on there. I also managed to fit 2 on the top of the case and 1 at the back. That's obviously again going to vary depending on what sort of case you've got and what your setup is intended to be. You can buy the fans individually, and I'm going to talk through in a minute what's in the box because it's quite interesting. You get 3 fans inside the box, but you also get the connection boxes as well. So this is what I was saying, you don't necessarily need the Commander Pro, but it is a nice way to do the full system, and it ensures you don't end up with loads and loads of different boxes and wires in your case, and they're going into multiple different places, which is a nice touch. Some of the modern motherboards also have RGB connections on them, so you might add light strips into your system without even needing any of the extra boxes in there. The Zeus motherboard that I'm using at the moment actually has an RGB header on it, so you can plug straight into that. Now this is the LED lighting strips. These are pretty interesting actually. They're quite similar to the Philips Hue if you've got that in your house. They're lighting strips that attach inside the case, and you can then connect to the Commander Pro or, as I said, directly to your motherboard. The interesting thing for me is that these strips come with 3M stickers on the back, which is the same as the Philips Hue, but they have the added bonus of being magnetic, which is really cool actually. It does mean that you have to watch out, don't install them on your hard drives because you will ruin them. They are for installing around the case rather than on a piece of equipment. But you get 4 strips. They're reasonably short, but because it's bright LED lighting, I found that you could sort of stretch them throughout a whole mid-tower case along the sides, bottom and top with no problems. There's connections on either end so you can connect them all up, and it's nice and easy to do too. Now the connections for these work with the Commander Pro quite nicely. There's an input for LED lighting on there. You only need 1 connection as well, so you could actually buy 2 packs of 4 if you wanted to and have lighting on both sides of the case. That would be a bit excessive, but you could do it. There's extender cables inside the box as well, and the connections for connecting to the power. The way I set this up was to connect the RGB lighting to the Commander Pro and the fans to the Commander Pro, and then the fans also have a little control box in them as well, which should connect up. Yeah, that way you get the power. Now obviously RGB fans have both lighting and power connections as separate. So over your standard fans, which I'll show you the process of at some point, the connection requires you to remove the standard fans. Those fans only have 1 cable, the RGB fans have 2. Now this obviously requires some extra cable management skills, and it can be a bit more tricky to get it neat if you're being a neat OCD freak, which if you're building a case like this you probably are. So these are the LL120 RGB fans. Just like all Corsair stuff, really excellent build and design to them. You connect these fans up to the box, to the Commander Pro, and you can control up to 6 fans via the Commander Pro as well, and 2 lots of LED strips, as I said. Then I think you have the connections for multiple thermal sensors in there too. So these fans work as a nice upgrade for your case. If you're buying like the H150i, it already comes with standard fans. Interestingly, H150i, which I'll unbox separately, says RGB on it, but actually it's only the CPU cooler which is RGB, not the fans included. So if you're looking for full RGB goodness, then you need to purchase yourself some fans and replace the standard fans on that heatsink on the radiator for the controller. Inside the Corsair LL120 box you get the 3 fans. You can see they're quite clear fans in their design, but it's very well packaged. These fans are actually a real joy to install as well, really easily. You can see that they've got a slight cable management is pretty easy with these fans. Once you've got them installed, you can tuck those cables away out of sight. They're quite thin. I mean, it does mean you've got 2 cables, as I said, which can be a bit of a pain depending on your case design. And obviously you have to account for the control boxes as well. Now inside this other box is the rest of the bits that you need for these fans. Now you don't need to buy the Commander Pro in order for these fans to run. You could buy 3 fans like that on their own and just attach them to your case if you wanted to light up the front. Inside here are the 2 boxes that you'd need if you're not using the Commander Pro. You plug your 6 fans into that and connect it to the serial ATA power from your power supply unit. That has a 3M sticker on the back, so it's nice and easy to attach to the back of the case. You also get all the fans for attaching, all the screws for attaching the fans, sorry, and then a unit for controlling LEDs as well. You can connect those two up. So you can actually install the RGB fans and the LED lighting strips with just this little kit. So you could buy 2 parts of this. Again, more SATA power. And then the necessary extra cables. So this has been a quick summary and unboxing of the RGB kit that you can get from Corsair. The Commander Pro RGB light strips and 6 RGB LED fans. Hope you enjoyed this video and the full RGB glory at the beginning when you get to see what it looks like when you're finished. I will hopefully at some point reviewing the rest of these and unboxing the rest of them and give you a breakdown of how to use the Corsair Link software to get the full highlight of all the goodness in that. There's a lot of customization options possible. The variety of different colours, obviously, because it's RGB, so 16.8 million different colours potentially, and you can have it sync up with different things and set it to run through various different patterns, which is pretty neat as well. It looks glorious. You don't have to have RGB running all the time either, and you can adjust the speed of the fans within the software too. So there's a lot of flexibility with this system. You do get what you pay for. It is a high quality system, but it does cost quite a bit of money, so that's worth bearing in mind. Hope you like this video. Please be sure to subscribe, like, and drop us a comment. If you really hated the video for some reason, please let me know in the comments below, or send me a message so I can improve my videos in future. Most appreciated. This is the Provoked Prawn. Thanks for stopping by.